Hello there, yes, hurtling towards the weekend. Anyway, yesterday, day before, I was feeling quite vindicated. I think that's the word, isn't it? Yes. Byline Times have been jumping up and down about government support for the newspaper industry during the early months of COVID because the newspapers were facing utter ruin because nobody was buying them, nobody was advertising in them. Anyway, I did a video at the time and I'm going to show you a clip of it here. Have a look.
It was basically when the death toll had passed 20,000, which the government had set a target for themselves as being a low good one, and we were kind of sailing past that. Anyway, newspapers actually started asking some quite awkward questions, and there was collectively a lot of front pages, even amongst the Daily Mail and Daily Telegraph of this world, which were saying, this is going very badly wrong. Which is kind of good. That's what journalism should be. The Fifth Estate should be holding the government to account. And then they stopped. Just stopped doing it. Go back to a week ago. Newspaper headlines. Almost invariably, sorry, not the headlines, front pages. Almost invariably would be one of these, right? Okay, or collectively all of them sometimes. Number one, picture of Boris Johnson. Oh, he's just become a daddy happy. Oh, yeah. Colonel Tom. Bless him. 2 Spitfires. Ow, dagger, 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 dagger. To machine gun the enemy? I don't really know. Anyway, and preferably, if we were especially lucky, we'd have a lovely, adorable picture of a 5-year-old minor royal. Oh, doesn't he look lovely? Oh, it's great. And some newspapers on these days actually didn't mention the virus at all on their front page. Nothing. As care homes basically ended up with only being half full because of various problems. Well, so what changed? Was it that newspapers suddenly decided that the British public wanted feel-good stories only? Well, what usually works in these circumstances is to say, let's follow the money. Now, newspapers basically work on advertising revenue. Newspapers don't really make money. They just about scrape by these days on advertising revenue. And because of COVID-19, number one, people weren't buying newspapers. Wonder why. Anyway, and the second thing is that advertisers don't want to advertise next to bad news. So newspapers reckoned that they were losing 50 million quid. Basically, they were going to lose that over the next 3 months in advertising revenue. The government suggested to the newspapers that they would give them £35 million if they carried COVID-19 advertising from the government. And the newspapers said, oh, thank you very much, sir, thank you very much, and went off to tending the lower field, tugging their little cap at their master. Yeah. So now we just have these newspapers with this kind of bland, insipid, Thursday night, let's everybody clap, let's show some Spitfires, because what we need to do is show this virus how much we're just going to stand up to it like we did Hitler.
Yes. Now, that wasn't very much reported at the time. You would get a couple of the newspapers, like The Guardian, that tend to sort of keep a media watch out, shall we say, but it just slipped by. Nobody noticed it at all. And yet, if you go back to the headlines of those days, you will see this kind of sudden jarring between reporting and nothing. And we still seem to be in the same place. A very, very, very hidden, sometimes, possibly, and cosy relationship between the media and a Conservative government. We're just going to end up with a Conservative government because it's what Rupert Murdoch wants. It might not be a Conservative government, but it'll be a Conservative government, won't it? Nothing will change because the wealth extraction must continue apace. That's the business. And all of those people you see all across the media are engaged in the same mining operation. It's your money that they're mining. Anyway, have a nice weekend.